Have you ever seen those rip-off versions of Minecraft where it's almost just a direct port? Well, at first glance, this game, Vintage Story, seems just like that rip-off of Minecraft, but it is so much deeper. Vintage Story is a game that confused me, punished me, rewarded me, and so much more. Vintage Story pushes limits to games that I've never seen before. It's like if you put the hardest mods in Minecraft all together and made it a game. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds horrible. Like the worst game imaginable. However, I saw myself wandering around and just looking at the terrain because it's astonishing. I discover something like new that I didn't even know about. Vintage Story has a very interesting way they handle tool making. That is not just placing the raw materials together in a crafting table. For instance, starting out, you must get flint off the ground twice and a stick. You place the flint on the ground and start carving it out. To even get past flint tools is a whole nother story. 1. You must find copper deposits scattered across the world and pick up the copper bits. 2. You must find clay and make molds by lighting them on fire with peat sticks and dry grass. 3. You must chop down trees and make them into logs with your axe, then put them in a 2x2 hole, burying them just to make charcoal. And then finally 4. You must melt the copper bits into liquid copper, then pour that copper into the mold. Vintage Story's progression is where I could see some taking a turn when liking this game, because the progression is slow, very slow, like a snail's pace slow type of game. At this current day age, fast-paced progression never really establishes deep levels of detail or world building, due to the gameplay only lasting a couple of hours until it gets repetitive. Yet, Vintage Story is not like those games. It takes pride with its progression system, and how everything feels realistic to an extent. For example, it took me, as a new player who knew almost nothing about the game, 10 hours to get planks. Yes, the planks like in Minecraft, that almost anyone can do in about a minute. As a matter of fact, how about I show you how fast you can do it? As you can see, it's just, a little bit faster in Minecraft than Vintage Story. Overall, the progression in this game feels rewarding, and I certainly think it's quite fun. I won't get far into the story due to the fact that I simply haven't gone far in the story at all in this game. In fact, I believe I've only gone to the very beginning. Oh, whoa. Oh, this is important. As you can see, I'm not far with it. However, from the parts that I have seen, it shows a story more up to interpretation rather than directly telling what's going on, which is rather common in games. But nevertheless, it's not a bad thing, as it allows the player to develop their own thoughts about what happens what happens in the story itself. Let's move on to another major factor of the game, the guide, because quite literally, there's almost no way I could ever beat this game without it. It is quintessential to moving through the game. It tells you everything, as it is a handbook after all. Yet, I cannot fathom the amount of times I have needed to look back on a page and read it over and over again, just to do something as simple, like charcoal. Charcoal, charcoal, charcoal. It took me 2 hours of smelting to understand how to make charcoal. Now, I was a bit dumb, as some may say. Yes, I did expose it to oxygen when it was burning. However, I didn't know how how literal the handbook meant when it was telling me how to burn. Now, I was a little bit dumb, as some may say. Yes, I did expose it to oxygen when it was burning. However, I didn't know how literal the handbook meant when burning in a certain hole size. As I proceeded to try and bake charcoal 4 different times, just to not get any progress, because my hole was just a bit too small, or it was a weird dimension, or I even checked it at one point. Regardless, we're getting off track. Let's see, the handbook itself is very useful, as it allows you to basically learn everything you need to do before you do it, so you don't fuck it up. Anyways, the handbook's useful if you get this game. Use it and take it literally, like I did. Vintage Story has this neat little thing in the center of your bar that looks like a cog. It is called temporal stability, and as I have discovered, it spawns mobs if low enough, as well as adding visuals and other not so nice additives, as you can see here. The cog plays a very important role in Vintage Story, as I discovered that there are places that actively drain your cog, as your goal is to keep it at 100%. Having it drain is not so good. The cog drains if you are in an unstable area, like my base. Somehow I didn't notice it. Or in caves, or even during temporal storms, as well as much more ways that I don't even know of yet. Vintage Story is a unique game at heart. I enjoy currently the way the game runs and how it is played. Through my current time in Vintage Story, I learned a lot. I grew to understand the mysterious world and plenty more. My overall thought behind this game is that it's interesting. As coming into this game, I first thought it was a boring old Minecraft clone. But I learned so much about this game in such a little time. I hope to see more in the future. Hey y'all, thank you for watching. I know this video is not like the rest of them. I had fun making this video. I'm hoping to do more of these. For those of you who are new, subscribe please. I'm trying to grow my channel. And for those of you who are returning, thank you for sticking by. Have a good day.